Still holding on to belly fat, no matter how little you eat, might have nothing to do with your diet and everything to do with your liver. If yours is even slightly congested, your body will block fat burning and crank up fat storage, no matter how healthy your meals are. And the worst part is you likely won't even feel it happening until after your liver has lost up to 80 to 90% of its function. Fortunately, you can start repairing your liver now, and it all starts by cutting 3 toxic ingredients and replacing them with foods that tell your liver to release fat instead of storing it. So let's start with one of the easiest changes you can make. And one of the most toxic habits you probably don't even realize is damaging your liver every single day. I'm talking about artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, ACE-K, the zero-calorie chemicals hiding in drinks, protein powders, flavored waters, healthy bars, healthy shakes, healthy snacks. They are everywhere. And they have been sold to us as clean alternatives, but they're not clean. They're toxic to your liver. How toxic? One study found that people who drank only artificial sweetened beverages had a 78% higher risk of developing fatty liver. 78%. Even after adjusting for total calories, sugar intake, and body weight. It doesn't matter whether or not you're overweight. Even someone considered thin can have the same fatty liver damage. That's how dangerous these sweeteners are. So how can something with 0 calories still cause us weight gain? It's not just about calories, it's about how your body responds. For starters, artificial sweeteners trick your brain. They activate sweet receptors, which signal that food or fuel is coming. No calories actually show up. So your body stays hungry and it starts craving more food to make up for the difference. In fact, one study found that people were 20% hungrier after drinking a sucralose sweetened drink compared to one with real sugar, which means they ate more calories throughout the day. Then comes one of the biggest problems of all, insulin resistance. Over time, these sweeteners make your body less sensitive to insulin. That's the hormone that tells your cells, hey, sugar's here, use it for energy. But when that signal gets ignored, sugar doesn't go where it's supposed to go. It builds up in your bloodstream, and your liver steps in to clean it up by turning that sugar into fat. One study found that just a few weeks of regular sucralose use led to an 18% drop in insulin sensitivity, which means your body is shifting into fat storage mode fast. And it gets worse. Sucralose also damages your mitochondria. That's the machinery inside your liver cells that burns fat. And when that machinery breaks down or it's grinding, your liver starts storing fat, no matter how clean you're eating. Now, here's the good news. The moment you stop flooding your liver with these chemicals, your body starts to respond. In one study, women who swapped diet drinks for water lost 2.5 pounds more than those who didn't and saw better insulin sensitivity, just by changing what they drank after lunch each day. So if you're still using these sweeteners, here's what to do next. Run a 72-hour sweetener reset. Just 3 days to reset your system. That means cutting all artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, ACE-K, NutraSweet, saccharin, all of the artificial ones. Check your drinks, check your bars, your pre-workout, everything. If it says sugar-free on the label, that's your red flag. If it says light on the label, that's your red flag. Swap in natural sweeteners that your body can actually handle. Ones that don't spike insulin or stress out your liver, like stevia. Not the junk with maltodextrin, the real stuff, organic stevia. No blood sugar spike, doesn't trigger cravings, and in animal studies, it was actually shown to prevent liver inflammation by blocking oxidative stress. Monk fruit tastes sweet, and it doesn't act like sugar in the body. There's 0 calories, low blood sugar spikes, low insulin hit, and it doesn't stress the liver. It's also great in clean recipes. Now, before we get into foods you should be eating, there's one more thing we have to cut out if we want the liver to start burning fat again. There's a so-called healthy fat hiding in nearly every packaged food, and it may be worse than sugar when it comes to liver fat and weight gain. Talk about seed oils, rancid vegetables, soybean, corn, canola, safflower, and sunflower oils. You'll find these oils in just about any food that makes noise when you open it or comes through a window. And they're all loaded with a fat called linoleic acid. Now, technically, this is an essential fat. Your body just needs a little bit of it. But today we're getting way too much of it. When it builds up in your body doesn't burn it off very easily. It stores it up for years. And one of the first places it gets stored is your liver. 100 years ago, we got maybe 1 or 2% of our calories from linoleic acid. Today, 25 to 30 times that amount. Just 1 tablespoon of soybean oil can blow past your entire daily limit. And it's in everything. Fast food like French fries and chicken nuggets, baked goods like muffins or frozen pizzas, all sorts of dressings and condiments and sauces, packaged foods, processed foods like chips and protein bars, even the healthy ones labeled organic or keto or low carb. And global production of the oils has exploded. It's up nearly 1,600% since the early 1900s. That has doubled over the last 20 years. Why? Because they're so cheap to produce and they have a long shelf life and they don't have a taste. So they can put it in anything. And here's what most people don't know. Once linoleic acid breaks down in our body, it turns into toxic byproducts. One of these is called 4-HNE. It has been linked to liver cell death. 4-HNE levels are found at 7 times higher concentrations in fatty livers compared to healthy ones. And just like artificial sweeteners, linoleic acid also damages the mitochondria. Again, these are the engines inside your cells that burn fat. When they break down, when their gears are grinding, fat burning stops and your liver gets clogged. Some research shows that this one fat alone can significantly slow down fat burning. And in animal studies, diets high in seed oils cause twice as much fat gain as diets high in sugar, even with the same number of calories. So yes, the so-called healthy fat was way worse than sugar. This is why people who eat clean still end up with fatty liver, because they ignore this one key element. Their grilled chicken, their protein powder, their salad dressing is still loaded with oils that their liver can't break down. Now, here's the good news. Cutting these oils out of your diet can start changing your body right away. One study showed a 15% drop in liver fat in just 12 weeks simply by adding omega-3s and cutting out the harmful linoleic acid found in seed oils. No extra exercise, no calorie cutting, just better fat sources. But it's not just the amount of linoleic acid that makes the oils a problem. It's how easily they oxidize. When you heat them, you turn a toxic fat even more toxic inside of your body. So here's some of the worst offenders to avoid: safflower oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, soybean oil, canola oil. High percentages of linoleic acid in all 5 of those. And if you see vegetable oil on the label, that's usually one of these in disguise. Skip it. Stay away. What do you use instead? Fats that your body actually recognizes and knows how to burn. Try extra virgin olive oil. It's only 10% linoleic acid. Or avocado, also about 10%. Coconut oil, just 2% of linoleic acid. And grass-fed butter or ghee, only 1 to 2%. These fats are way more stable, even if you heat them, and they're much easier on your liver. And when you replace the seed oils with these healthier fats, your body responds quickly. In one study, animals on a Western-style junk food diet had their liver fat cut by over 70% just by changing the type of fat that they ate. No calorie cut, no extra exercise, just swapping linoleic acid-rich oils for omega-3 rich oils. Next, you can be eating clean, avoiding the sugars, consuming the right oils, and still be overloading your liver, all because of the wrong kind of carbs. Let's talk about carbohydrates. Let's talk about white bread, crackers, cereal, pasta, anything made from flour that has been stripped of its fiber. Without the fiber, these hit your system fast. Why? There's nothing slowing down the digestion or the absorption. So they spike your blood sugar and start to impact it within 4 seconds. Your body pumps out insulin, and then your liver gets hit with the overload. And when there's too much sugar coming in, even from foods that look healthy, your liver has to do something about it. It has to do something with it. So it turns the sugar into fat, and then it stores the fat right inside itself. That's why people who eat clean can still end up with fatty liver. Now, fiber works differently, and that's a good thing. Unlike refined carbs, which get digested immediately, your body can't digest fiber immediately. That's exactly why it helps. It slows down how fast sugar is absorbed, and it keeps your blood sugar more steady. It helps you feel full longer, and it feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which helps support detoxification. It also binds to those toxins and the excess bile in your gut. That's helping to carry the waste out of the body a lot quicker and break your foods down. It takes the pressure off your liver, so then it can get back to burning fat. Here's the problem. Most people are only getting 10 to 15 grams of fiber a day. That's not even close to enough. The minimum target is 25 to 30 grams a day, and more than 90% of Americans aren't hitting it. The good news, it's simple to fix. You just swap refined carbs and a carb mentality with a fiber-rich food mentality. Like legumes, beans, split peas, lentils, black beans, green peas, chickpeas, hummus, bean noodles, bean crusts. Fruits like avocados, raspberries, blackberries, pears, apples, especially Granny Smith, and oranges, much higher in fiber. Vegetables, artichokes, Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, broccoli, leafy greens, lots of good fiber. Nuts and seeds, chia seeds, love them. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, whole sprouted grain, whole grain wheat. All of these excellent sources of high fiber. Here's the exciting part. One study found that people who ate 30 grams of fiber a day, without changing anything else, lost almost the same amount of fat as people who followed a full structured diet. No tracking, no calorie counting, just fiber. All right, section 4, part 4. Eating the right fruits, not the ones that fuel liver fat, okay? The problem with most fruit isn't that it's unhealthy. It's that most of the sugar in fruit is fructose, which is processed almost entirely by the liver. And when your liver gets too much of it, it doesn't burn it, it stores it. And your liver is already overworked anyway, so let's not give it more work to do. One clinical trial found that people with fatty liver who ate more than 4 servings of fruit per day had worse liver enzymes, they had more insulin resistance, and they had greater liver fat, even though their total calories stayed the same. So I'm not saying cut all fruit for the rest of your life. I'm just saying eat the ones that work with your liver, not against it. So here are your liver-friendly fruits. Berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries. Love them. Low in sugar, high in fiber, packed with antioxidants that actually support repairing your liver. Grapefruit is good, kiwi's good, Granny Smith apples are good. They don't spike your blood sugar the way that high sugar fruits do, and then they actually have been shown to help reduce inflammation. They've helped improve insulin sensitivity. Now, the ones that work against the liver, they include the popular ones. Bananas, grapes, mangoes, pineapples, watermelon. They taste incredible, I get it, but they're loaded with fast-hitting fructose. It's going to bog that liver down. There's also very little fiber to slow these things down so that your body can keep blood sugar balanced. Like a single cup of grapes can have as much sugar as a can of soda. And your liver treats it the same way. So if your goal is to burn liver fat, these fruits have to go, at least for now. And the juices of them are worse. An 8-ounce glass of orange juice hits your liver like the sugar of about 4 oranges. Who eats 4 oranges in one serving? You wouldn't, because the actual oranges contain a bunch of fiber that make you feel full, but the fruit juice doesn't have the fiber, and it raises blood sugar just as fast as a can of soda. So there's a big difference between the whole fruit with the fiber and the actual juice. Juice has been linked to increased liver fat in both adults and kids. So stick with whole fruits. Keep it to just 1 or 2 servings a day, and choose the kind that support liver repair, not overload the liver more. Now, you've cleaned up your food, you've cut the oils, you're swapping out carbs for fiber, you're eating the right kind of fruit, but the fat's still not moving. It's probably because of linoleic acid stuck in your system. That's the toxic omega-6 fat that we just talked about that comes from seed oils. And once it gets stored, it blocks your liver's ability to burn fat, and it doesn't go away. This kind of fat can stick around for up to 6 years if you don't actively flush it out. Here's the good news. There's a way to do it. It's a 2-step process. However, note that you need to do both steps for it to work. Step 1, give your cells the right fat to rebuild with. So you're cutting out the bad fats. You start with step 1. Every cell in your body needs healthy fat to build its outer fatty cell layer. Your body builds that layer using the fats that you eat. So if that layer is built from linoleic acid, it becomes sticky, it becomes inflamed, it becomes congested. That means your nutrients can't get in, your toxins can't get out, and the cell stops working the way that it should. That's when your liver and your body start holding on to fat instead of burning it. But your body can rebuild those cell layers if you give it something better. That better fat is EPA. It's an omega-3 found in wild-caught fish and high-quality fish oil. When you take EPA consistently, your cells start pushing out the toxic fat, and you rebuild with clean material. In fact, one study showed omega-3 levels in red blood cells jumped 300% in under 2 weeks just by supplementing with EPA. Here's the problem. If you're not actively burning stored fat, You're just stacking good fat on top of bad. So you've got to create space for that toxic fat to come out first, which brings us to step 2, which is fasting for 20 to 24 hours. Just once or twice a week. During that fasting window, your body stops pulling energy from food, starts pulling energy from stored fat, and that's when linoleic acid starts to move. It gets released. So you are releasing fat, not burning it. That's when linoleic acid starts to move. Here's the key. The meal you break your fast with matters. That's the moment your body starts rebuilding cells, and it's going to use whatever fats you give it. So you want healthy fats just after an 18 to 24 hour, or maybe you did a 2 or 3 day fast. Wild salmon, avocado, olive oil, grass-fed meat. These are the fats your body recognizes and can actually use. And when you pair that kind of omega-3 with short fasting, you get real results. One clinical study showed a 24% drop in stored linoleic acid in just 13 days. That's a fat that your body normally holds on to for years, gone in under 2 weeks. And it wasn't just fat loss. Triglycerides dropped, blood pressure dropped, inflammation went down, and the liver finally started doing what it's supposed to do, burn fat. Now, if you're like Nurse Living Good and myself, you probably don't eat wild caught fish every week, and definitely not enough to get the EPA that your body really needs. And that's where a good omega-3 supplement makes all the difference. But be careful. Most of the fish oils on the shelf that you see in the grocery store are low potency. They're filled with junk, and they are already oxidized by the time you open the bottle. That means you're not getting the benefits because the oil's already gone rancid. In some cases, you could be making things worse. And so that's why I made one that I trusted. It's got high EPA and DHA levels. It's clean, it's concentrated, protected from oxidation over a 5-year window. And this is the same one that I take. It's the one I've been using with thousands of my patients and followers with real results for many years. I'll drop the link for that one below in case you need a source. All right, step number 6, there's one more food I want to add in, and this one helps your liver burn fat even while you sleep. It's called moringa. It's a nutrient-packed leaf that targets the biggest drivers of liver fat: imbalance of inflammation, imbalance of blood sugar, and fat production inside the liver itself. So how is this possible? Moringa works in a few powerful ways. First, helps to balance healthy blood sugar levels, especially after meals. One study showed that it was a 20% drop. So it helps keep insulin balanced and supported. And when insulin stays balanced, your liver can burn fat instead of storing it. Second, it blocks enzymes that your body uses to create new fat. So you're not just burning stored fat, you're also slowing down new fat production. And then third, it supports that detox, the grinding of those gears. Thanks to the 46 different antioxidants like isothiocyanates and chlorogenic acid, they help the liver neutralize the toxins. You're not grinding the gears of the metabolism. It can finally burn up the energy and use its energy stores and clear out the stored fat more efficiently. And finally, as a bonus, moringa helps lower cortisol. It's your stress hormone. When cortisol stays high at night, it blocks deep sleep. It slows down your metabolism. It tells your body to store fat, especially in your belly and your liver. But when cortisol drops, when it's balanced, your body gets into deep fat burning sleep. And that's when real repair starts. So yes, moringa can literally help you burn fat while you sleep. So if you're going to get it, look for organic moringa leaf, not the extracts, which decrease a lot of the nutrients that are inside of moringa. We want a protected leaf format, not stems or seeds. Ideally in a dose of 500 to 1,000 milligrams per day. You could put it into water, into a smoothie, or take it in a capsule form to make it really easy. Used consistently, moringa helps support every system that matters for fat loss: healthy blood sugar and normal inflammatory response, detoxification, a healthy liver, all in one simple daily habit. And that's where a good supplement can really help this out. Just make sure it's from the leaf, not the stems or the seed, and that it's not the extract. That's where the real benefits are. Also, a lot of powders out there are oxidized or full of other fillers or junk. So I just made one I could trust out of an organic source, clean organic moringa leaf powder, no fillers at all, just the moringa in the capsule. So if you're interested, I included a link for that down below. It's helping a lot of people out to get this miracle tree into their diet. Now, food is only half the story. You can eat all the right things, but if you're still drinking the wrong ones, you could be undoing the progress without even realizing it. Because what you drink every day will either support your liver or silently keep it backed up. So in the next video, I'll show you the top 3 drinks that help flush the liver fat, speed up the detox, and keep your body in fat burning mode all day long. Click here to watch that video now, and I'll see you over there.